Hello, everybody. This is your friend Daniel Hutchins, and today we are doing another video of random and late night video. It's a it's a combo, but we are going to be talking about famous rabbit Peter Rabbit. Yes, Peter Rabbit. So Peter Rabbit has a third movie that's supposed to come out. Now, Peter Rabbit 3 news and updates, everything to know. So Peter Rabbit has a third adventure a, a, with the bunny we remember from, we usually see around Easter. But here are some of the news and the story and when we could possibly see it. So, if you already seen Peter Rabbit, the original, and Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway, which has hit the theaters with warm receptions from the audience, we want to know the big question is Peter Rabbit 3. Will it happen? Well, we're going to find out. But the second installment of the reboot animated movie universe, based on the Beatrix Potter series by Children Books, performed modestly for a box office film. Now, opening weekends received middling reviews from critics, but it holds high audiences around the board. Now, Peter Rabbit 2, directed by Will Gluck, as follows an eponymous troublemaking rabbit, voiced by everyone we know, James Corden, his family and his animals, again played by all the voices, respectively, were voice actors, and humans, Bay and Thomas McGregor. Now, the mixed family travels to London to discuss this new deal with the publisher, and Peter, he gets mixed up in some hijinks around the way. Every upcoming animated Disney movie. Now, that's something we might explore at later point, but it's not going to be right now. But okay, so while the movie received middling reviews, many call it the increased distance from the character charming material. The story has turned up as cute and meta elements to appeal firmly to children and family alike. The movie box office receipts may not have stolen the show so far yet, but the first installment built respectable income over time. The Peter Rabbit 2 did the same, but it's not out of the question that the sequel is the green light down the road. Now, they also say that it's nearly finished the script for a third movie. Now, certainly potential from this third movie, and we want to know the Peter Rabbit 3, what it can look like with the story, the cast, and release. Most important, the date. So, Peter Rabbit 3, the possible story. While the creator of Peter Rabbit and his friends, and the author of the series of 23 books about their characters, the movies don't rely so much on the original story. Now, instead, they modernize the settings and actions of those characters, which are drawn straight from the books by Beatrix Potter. Now, the third movie will likely have Peter Rabbit, again experiencing some hijinks, in a modern setting, and interviews with some directors, and they said Peter Rabbit 3 will almost be finished writing. And that idea is bananas, though, but it's really hard to do a sequel and think it's hard to do a third one. But we think we have this in the bag because the advantage of the meta nature of ours is the opening scene from this third movie is absolutely crazy. Now, they compare the character of Peter Rabbit to each of the two released movies and his plans for a third. Now, saying Peter is a teenager who is flawed, and again, their third movie is going to have even more flaws because as you get older, we get more and more flawed. If you guys probably know that. Or if you don't know that, ask your mom and dad because they'd probably tell you the same thing. Okay, related to this article, every upcoming Sony movie coming to Netflix first from 2022 and beyond. Well, here on Channel Daniel Hutchins, we don't really talk too much about Netflix, but it can be something unless you guys want me to talk about, leave that in the comments. But we don't focus on that right now. Okay, so Peter Rabbit 3, what the cast would look like. Now, okay, so the direct sequel to Peter Rabbit 2, The Runaway. Now, they're reasonable to assume the studio director would attempt to reunite the main cast of subsequent outing. Now, confirmation of returning new cast and characters for Peter Rabbit 3 and the main cast would return, but would include the same voice for Peter Rabbit. We also got Flopsy, Mopsy, Cottontail, and other cast members. We know the humans, and then also some other characters probably in there as well as just side character. Okay, so Peter Rabbit 3, when we would see it release. There is no confirmation yet on Peter Rabbit 3 when it will go in production. We do not know, but it will be announced in some point later down the road. Production time frame might mirror the prequels of Peter Rabbit 2, which that was announced in May 2018, around 2 months before the first movie premiered. Now, that original release window of February 2020 was delayed because of COVID-19. Now, if same time frames could be expected of this third movie without the pandemic set aside, now fans might have to see as soon as August 2021 about whether or not Peter Rabbit 3 will get made and release and could be pegged out for somewhere in the middle of 2023. Okay, so again, let me know your thoughts about that. I think it's really cool. So let me know your thoughts about Peter Rabbit, and you have a wonderful, wonderful day. And I'll shoot out some more live streams. See you guys around. Bye.